Hi there, this is Rishi Singh, founder and CEO of Sapient AI. I'm going to do a quick demo of the Sapient AI unit testing platform. As you might be familiar, that developers write code to implement features and functionality, but they're also responsible for the unit testing code to improve the quality and to make sure there is no regression in the future. And that takes 20 to 40% of their time. So here is a platform that generates a unit test for them with a very high level of accuracy. I'm extremely excited to demo the product now. Sapient AI is installed as a plugin in Developer's IDE. This is my local IntelliJ instance that already has this plugin installed. As you can see the Sapient logo. Here is a sample code that I'm going to use to illustrate the problem. It's a simple code that takes user ID and password and tries to validate if it's the right combination. But like any code, it goes through a few steps. If user ID is null, throw a legal argument exception. Let's try to fetch it from the repository, then try to see if it's enabled, try to match the password hash, and so on. Now, when you think about the unit testing, you'll have to address all the edge cases in the boundary condition. And when you start including all of them, this 10 lines of the code can very well turn out to be more than hundreds of lines of the code. And that's going to take a significant amount of time from the developers. Coming to Sapient, there are multiple ways that you can generate a unit test. I'll use the UI option. And so for the given methods, it's going to show me all the test cases that are applicable to it. So you can jump into the individual test cases. You can learn about all the input output. You can learn about all the logical layers or dependencies that needs to be marked or stopped. You can generate the code for the individual test cases, or you can select all of them and generate the code for all of them. As a developer, I have ability to review the code. I can customize it, I can save it, and now this code has moved to the green state. That means I have been able to generate the unit test for hundreds of lines of the code that would have taken a very, very long time. Sapient makes sure you not only generate the code one time, but you are equipped to maintain it going forward. And so here's a case where I'm going to make some incremental change in the source code, and Sapient will help me make the necessary adjustment in the test code. So if user is null, return false. Alrighty, so now it was able to detect there is a new test case scenario that has emerged based on my changes. And so now as a developer, I can simply use the regenerate button and I can get just incremental changes done in the test code right away. I'll show you the user controller, which is the REST interface of the user service. It's based on Spring Boot controller. And so I'm going to use a Sapient to generate the integration test for it. So here it is, it's generating, and now it's collecting the code coverage. The code coverage is 100%. I was able to get the test code generated. This is a little different because this is testing the REST interface. So here you can see all the different endpoints, and depending on the content type, it's also looking into the response body, going deeper and trying to verify each and every attributes and testing that out. So far we have been able to generate the code for the individual files, but in enterprise environment, a lot of times you want to generate the code for many files, many folders, so maybe the entire project, to rapidly catch up in terms of the code coverage. So here I'm going to select the entire project and set it to generate the code. So here it is. It's able to generate the code. Now it's collecting the code coverage. Here's the coverage report. It's about 82%. It found around 12 files and around 37 test cases to process. It was able to get it done quickly. Here is a breakdown by the individual classes. Many of the classes have a 0%, primarily because those are Java interfaces or the POSO objects. But some of them have got a real problem. There are some issues in the underlying the source code, and so if underlying source code is untestable, then the test cannot be good. Test cannot be generated. So here is a Sapient making some suggestion that you should refactor the code and then make it testable. So as you saw, you can generate unit tests with a very high level of accuracy and at a big scale, which makes it attractive to some of the biggest enterprises. And the magic lies in our architecture. The Sapient AI engine processes source code at the level of the code blocks, transforms into the multiple chunks and leverages its own trained generative AI to produce the test code, which is highly accurate. It's the best unit test generator for developers that produces 60 to 80% accurate code at enterprise scale, which makes it attractive to some of the topmost companies in the world. Sapient AI's mission is to take care of the software testing so developers can focus on real innovation and engineering leaders can drive execution without sacrificing the quality. Sapient AI is available to developers for free. I invite you to sign up and use it for free. Happy unit testing. Thank you so much.